dumb. But
Oh,
Rowdy is hyped up because KC Sporting let go of or Sporting Kansas City let go of Peter Vermees. So we're kind of going to talk about that and then roll into some other topics.
Okay.
So yeah, Peter Vermees got dropped. I am beyond happy.
Bro is ecstatic. It's like because we lost the first bit of the recording for this, it got corrupted and we lost it. So he's been kind of upset about that. But then he found that he's just in the mood swing upward has been crazy.
Yes,
Gotcha.
it's been all over the place today. But yeah, Peter Vermees got dropped. I am beyond happy.
Kansas baseball is rocking out at 22-6 right now.
Yeah,
Third best, not third best, but second best in the Big 12, I think, for baseball.
Yeah.
One or the other. It's second or third. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think it's second. Last time I checked, it was because we were behind Kansas State. No, we were third because we were behind Kansas State and Arizona State for some reason.
Well, Arizona State is good though.
Yeah, well, I mean they got.
We're barely good.
I mean, what do you mean we're barely good?
We're not even ranked.
Yeah, but also SEC bias for baseball in the AP Top 25 is crazy work. That's all they really talk about, if we're going to be honest here. It's 100% a thing.
Anyways, I don't care about soccer anymore.
We were talking about baseball, but okay.
Oh no, I was saying like I'm getting off of that, but basketball, NBA.
Is it recording?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording.
Recording.
Oh shit.
The Lakers took down the Rockets.
Okay. After they got their ass slapped by the Bulls again.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
At least you have Fred VanVleet, man.
Yeah, one Wichita State player. Yeah, that saves so much of the disappointment. But Victor, I wanted to hear your thoughts on how well the Lakers are doing this year. As a professional LeBron hater like us.
The Lakers have been a very up and down team, especially after Luka got signed on to the Lakers. They have been mostly down. It has not been a good run, and it's starting to question on whether or not the Lakers have buyer's remorse, because you have two ball hogs in there who really doesn't look like they can actually mesh well. And of all teams, you got slapped twice by the Bulls, by the Chicago Bulls, mind you. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, and even I can tell you the Chicago Bulls have been really
trash.
They've been hot garbage.
It's not been good.
And like even now even though they do have a spot in the play, they're right now the ninth seed, I think it is. Even then, you're supposed to be the Lakers. You're supposed to have the great LeBron James, and yet you getting beat by them.
The Bulls are 10th right now in the.
Oh, they're 10th. Okay.
They're barely in the play-in.
So they're barely in the play-in.
Well, to be fair, the team in 11th is the Toronto Raptors. You don't got much to worry about.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a garbage team beating your ass not once but twice. And yet people are still saying that they're going to go to the big dance. Still.
And they got to make it past Denver and a bunch of other and Oklahoma City. Let's not sleep on Oklahoma City.
Yeah, OKC has been.
OKC has been on a heater.
Or the Rocks, or the Grizz. The Grizzlies.
Who just fired their head coach like last week, if I remember correctly, right?
Why would they fire their head coach? Just because they lost 3 games in a row to the Thunder, the Lakers, and the Celtics?
The Thunder and those 3 have broken the Grizz.
The T-Wolves are also a really good team. They're on a 2-game win streak.
Yeah.
Did you see
2 games
the fight between the Pistons and the Timberwolves?
I saw a bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
That was crazy. Naz Reid is getting suspended for that.
Hey, at least it wasn't as bad as Malice in the Palace. Let's remember that.
I don't think anything be as bad as Malice in the Palace.
That too.
The fact that someone literally just ran up into the stands
to punch somebody.
And then he punched the wrong guy.
Exactly.
It wasn't even the guy that threw it at him. He was some other guy. He's like, wait a minute, what are you attacking me for?
He's like, oh, well, I hit somebody. Let's keep going.
There was like a point in that brawl where it was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Man, everyone fight. Everybody just throw hands.
But
Drop the mitts and throw hands. Let's do
But
it.
actually, we're gonna use the remaining of our studio time recording this.
Okay.
All right.
So we only have like an hour left of studio time. We got
Okay.
here at 11:30, recorded 30 minutes of an episode. It got corrupted. I tried to make music for 30 minutes, and now we're here. So
Yeah.
I saw some earlier and I got so aggravated.
what was it?
I looked at my phone and I checked Google because I wanted to see if we had a show on. I
Oh,
checked
you were
Google.
perusing the internet.
I was browsing the internet. I was just looking at Google, and my phone usually sets up for things that I usually look at, whether it's video games, wrestling, or Dallas Cowboy stuff. And they showed up. They said Dak Prescott traded to the Cleveland Browns. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, that
I-
actually happened.
I look.
So they're chasing a quarterback in the draft?
Wait, is that real? Because originally
I
I'm like,
think it was.
hold on, because I looked at it, but I'm like, I looked at it and I looked at the date and I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh, wait. There's
Was it a
no
joke?
way. Yeah, I'm like, because it's April 1st. So like, oh, it's April Fool's joke. Had to be, because I couldn't see that happen. After that massive extension,
What would be the buyout for that? Just wondering.
well, you got me. He just got signed on for another 4 years.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it was an April Fool's joke. You
No,
got
that's what I
that
thought,
right.
yeah.
So the actual article is 2 days ago from TWSN Sports,
Okay.
and it was naming Dak Prescott a possible trade that the Browns can make to fix their offensive issues.
For what, though?
Oh, you got more issues than offensive to fix in 'cause
Exactly.
you got, like, even though you have Myles Garrett, you got a lot of defensive issues.
Exactly.
So they have
only-
absolutely no cap because they signed Myles Garrett to that massive contract.
Yeah. They did.
That
So
was a
you're gonna have to
huge
rely on like a
contract.
massive amount of
Luck.
draft prospects. Oh no.
Yeah, but I saw that this morning. I was like, "Oh wait, what?" And I'm like, "Oh wait, it's April 1st. Of course, I put something like out there. It's gotta be an April Fool's joke."
I forgot it was April Fool's, and now I kind of want to call out of work.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and sneakily do that.
So as he does that, let's talk about about the torpedo bats, right? That the Yankees have been using.
Yeah.
Bro, what's your take on that, honestly? Because I think it should be illegal because it takes a certain skill to barrel up the bat where it is currently, with it not being a torpedo bat.
So I'm guessing that they're finding ways to like kind of make sure that the barrel of the bat is hitting right in the middle of the ball. I'm guessing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there shouldn't be any indicators like that. I'm not sure why that was allowed.
Which they're pulling it closer to the barrel because the best part to hit the bat is like right before the edge of it, or at least with the current bat. But I don't like the torpedo bat. And funny enough, it's made by a dude named Aaron Lenny Lenhart, who went to MIT. So we can see where this one's going. I don't get it.
MIT Engineering does it again.
MIT Engineering does it for baseball.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and as of what the MLB is saying right now, the torpedo bats they fit the exact requirements for them to be legal, but they might do a board meeting. And what also another thing I heard from commissioners and stuff like that, that they are doing robotic testing on it to see if it's actually like not like a broken like bat or like a hot bat.
Yeah.
Terms like that.
Yeah.
But,
I look at that, but I always say
we'll
like
see.
usually the ones that are getting slammed by the bat are usually the ones that will complain about it first. Is what usually happens in those situations. Like, oh wait, you can't use that bat because you're winning with it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's the same thing with the tush push.
Yeah,
right.
They're making a huge push for the tush push to get banned.
Yeah, because everyone keeps winning with the tush. They keep winning with the tush push.
I mean, but there is one man I think that can stop the tush push.
And that is
Florida defensive lineman that clocked in at like 456 pounds.
You know why the Yankees are undefeated to start the year, right?
Why?
They played the Brewers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're like
But I mean,
0-5.
But also the Brewers have Nestor Cortez, who was pretty good on the Yankees.
Yeah, but also they have Christian Yelich, who's always been a great player, but they gave away all their good players to other teams. Willie Adames, he's a Giant now.
He's a Giant now.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was like one of the only reasons I watched the Brewers is because of Willie Adames.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Brewers gave me no reason to watch them at
Oh.
all. But it was mainly they were getting slammed. What the score was 20-9.
It was something nutty, and it was like the Yankees hit like 9 in one game, which ties the franchise record, which is kind of crazy to think about. But back to other news around the league, the Royals proceeded to pound the Brewers 11-1 yesterday with Chris Bubich on the mound, who absolutely balled out. And we left but the thing about that really concerns me from that game, we left a ton of people on base. We had like 20 hits or something like that. We left at least 9 on base, which could be a problem going in later into the season, especially with this stretch of games that we have, because we got the Orioles back at home. We got Yanks. We got Guardians again. We got Twinkies, Twins.
Twinkies is crazy.
What do you mean that's crazy?
It's crazy because it's like I've never heard that
Yeah,
as a nickname for the Twins.
me and my dad's buddy call them the Twinkies all the time.
That's just because your dad's buddies and you do it doesn't mean I'm gonna understand it.
But yeah, we got a pretty tough stretch going up ahead. It kind of starts to curve off a little bit with the Rockies, and then later in, like, I think at the start of June, we have the White Sox for the first time. So
Started June.
yeah, I mean, yeah, June, because
You're looking way far out, dude.
or am I? I'm kind of off here. Am I? Probably, knowing my dumb ass.
But you know how I think you know this is Chicago, but when the White Sox were the big brother and the Cubs are the little brother, and now the Cubs are the big brother and the White Sox are the little brother. How do you feel about that?
Well, let's be honest. It always started off with Cubs being the big brother and Sox being the little brother up until 2005. Because even in 2003, everyone was like mumbling for the Cubs to be the World Series champs, and they fell off against the Marlins. All of a sudden, 2005 rolls up. The Sox win the World Series. They actually contended for a couple of years, and then they completely fell off because they dismantled their pitching regime. They dismantled most of their hitting. And now the Cubs are starting to come up. And, of course, we know what happened in 2016.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the Cubs trying to vie again for a title. But to me, the Chicago Cubs are Chicago Cubs. They always going to find a way to make themselves irrelevant again. So we'll see what happens.
All right, pass break. I said June, but I mean May. It will be May.
I was going to
5th
say
through the
June
8th.
is a bit far out.
Yeah,
man.
but we still got a rough road ahead of us if we're going to be honest.
That's
here.
like middle of summer, dude. Like
dang near. That's like right there.
like start of summer.
Start of summer. June is start of summer.
Today's April 1st. I really don't want to go into work, but today is April 1st, the start of April. My birthday is this month, and then we got my mother's birthday, and then start of NHL playoffs too.
Yep.
Is coming up, and I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Why?
Because even though my Florida Panthers are really good, we lost to the Canadians,
who we pummeled like 2-7. And I'm a Caniacs guy, so this was like Saturday night, I think.
Yeah, but still 4-0 Eastern
on,
Conference
man.
Final. Matthew Tkachuk with 4 seconds left. You will never be able to live that down.
Unless if we return to sender, but I doubt seeing.
You're not going to return to center. You're going to get eliminated by the Capitals.
Probably.
But
at least it's better than it has been.
okay. So I need to tell you, Blake, about our friend, me and Vic's friend Shane Lake.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Bruins fan.
Big one too.
A massive Bruins fan.
I want to know his reaction about y'all getting.
So
he was not happy.
Okay, so we're gonna bring it back all the way to a couple years ago. Round 1, Game 7 between the Panthers and Bruins.
Was that
where it was the pass to where it was it comes to Verhage, turn, shoot, scores,
Yeah.
and the Panthers have eliminated the Boston Bruins.
First round, right?
Yeah, first round. The like record-breaking Bruins team
That team probably should have won a Stanley. That's going to be the
should've.
greatest team to not win a Stanley.
Oh, it's like the Warriors back when they held the regular
3-1
season record.
2016.
Yeah.
2016. Didn't they lose to the Cavs that year?
Yeah, 3-1.
Yes, they did. They lost to the Cavs, and there was a lot of issues on that one. A lot of issues that people will still point to. That was being doggone gift wrap because they needed. The thing was, a lot of people they needed LeBron to do good, to make good with by Cleveland for what happened with the decision. They needed him to make good on his promise of bringing a chip to Cleveland, which honestly, if things go out the way they are going now, the Cleveland Cavaliers may end up getting there without the need of LeBron, because the Cavs have been looking dynamite, as JJ would say.
Donovan Mitchell is just
On
an
a
insane guy.
Don't forget about our Kansas State kid, Dean Wade. He's been putting in some good minutes too.
Dean Wade, yeah. I always forget Dean Wade exists.
Yeah, my grandma once, whenever he was still at Kansas State, ran into Dean Wade at a Long John Silver's in Manhattan.
Long John Silver.
I'm not kidding about this. I wish I had the picture on my phone, but I'm not kidding. My grandma ran into Dean Wade at Long John Silver's in Manhattan, right by the
Long
Hy-Vee.
John Silver.
For anybody that
is
watches
crazy.
this and lives in Manhattan, you know exactly where I'm talking about.
I have not seen a Long John Silver's in the city of Chicago in a long ass time.
Yeah, you live in Chicago. We're in Kansas. He's northwest of me in Wamego. I
Okay.
live in Topeka.
I basically live in enemy territory as a Jayhawks fan. It's not a good time, man.
Yeah,
I
you
live
live
in-
in Wildcats land.
It's not fun. I get, especially whenever I was younger, people would just bully me for football. It was not a good time.
Oh yeah, but then basketball season comes around, he's like, "Who's talking now? Who's talking now?
Yep.
I want to hear it."
Right.
Yeah.
Keep the same energy.
Especially that year we won the title. It's
It was
mainly
the same. I always told them to keep that same energy whenever basketball came around, but then they never did. It
They
was
never
so
did. They're
annoying.
like, I don't know what
did.
you're talking about.
It's just like,
Whenever you
huh?
have
You want to
Bruce
keep
Weber
talking
for like almost a decade, I mean, that's what happens to you, man.
Right.
I feel like you with your classmates during basketball season. It's like when Marshawn Lynch laughed at Pete Carroll's face.
It's literally like that, man.
Just ha ha.
Yeah, it's literally like that. Like there's a kid one time after Kansas completely derailed Kansas State basketball. I can't remember what year it was, but they were at
You can
Bramlage.
name multiple years.
He
where
came
that
in.
happened,
He
but-
came in
Right.
full Kansas State kit, and I proceeded to laugh in his face, like not even 3 inches away. Just
Oh, that
straight
is
out.
rubbing it in. Come
Yeah,
on.
I was on demon time, dog.
I
Yeah.
can tell. I can tell.
And I think it was 100% worth the detention. I will take that every
You got
day.
detention points.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
my-
amazing.
that
I
is
wore that
amazing.
one like a king. I did not care.
Okay, so I went to a school called Shawnee Heights, and you know, we weren't really there wasn't really a battle between people who loved K-State and Kansas, except in a few
Mhm.
classes. One of those classes was a class where it was history class with Mr. Plood, and he was a sports guy. He had a Saints banner, he had a Royals banner
He was a Saints fan.
in the state of Kansas. Yes,
That's
so
a
is my
bit weird.
dad, but
Okay.
listen, my dad is Southern. All right. He's
Yeah, I can
Mexican,
tell.
he's Southern. So he grew up on Saints. When he started cheering on expansion franchises too, Jacksonville and Carolina when they
Mhm.
first came around. When Blake Bortles was the quarterback. Who the fuck remembers Blake Bortles?
Me.
Blake Bortles.
That dude was a dog. What are we talking about? He said,
Yeah,
if didn't
he
play
was a
football-
dog, aka he was a poodle who couldn't
No.
get anything done
Let
in
me
Jacksonville.
explain you. If he said in an interview after his career, if I didn't play football, I'd be on a construction crew somewhere ripping cigs. That's verbatim. You can find that somewhere. You can find that. I'm not kidding. It is
What is that?
hilarious.
What is that? Stetson Bennett's new speech.
Probably.
If I wasn't in the NFL, I'd be on a construction site ripping cigs. That's crazy. I didn't even know he said that.
I mean, sure. We were just talking about the Sox and the Cubs. One of my history teachers when I was in college in 05, big time Cubs fan, did not want me Did not want anything about Sox at all. And he specifically said that they weren't going to make the World Series. They were going to get stomped by the Angels. So I didn't say anything.
The Angels?
Yeah, because that was
Was it-
ALCS in 05. The
Was
ALCS
was that when they were called the Anaheim Angels?
Probably.
yes. So I didn't say anything. I bought the next day's Sun Times that had the Sox going to the World Series. I didn't say anything. I just held up the paper, just held up the paper, looking like, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. It's right here in black, white, and red. It's right here. And he was like,
you should tell him. You should tell Blake about the trip, the car ride during a Sox game,
the car ride during the Sox game.
where you had a certain somebody on your lap.
Oh, my girlfriend at the time. Yeah.
Oh, this
so
is gonna be interesting.
So we were going to a buddy of mine's birthday party, and one of my other friends was trying to return a chair that he didn't want, an office chair he didn't want.
Who was that?
That was our friend Derek. No,
Derek, but Brian was there.
Brian was there. We were all going to go together. So my girlfriend and I, we drove over. We were going to take one car instead of taking two cars. We decided to take one car. So we're like, there's a chair here. We can't. It's taking up basically two seats. So how are we going to all fit in this doggone car? Brian's like, and even Derek said, can we use your garage to sit the chair in until I get back? Brian's like, no, because my dad will beat the shit out of me. That's not happening. So he's like, all right, cool. What are we going to do? So he said, all right, you're going to drive. I'll get shotgun, blue jean couple, because we just happen to be wearing blue jean outfits. You two get in the back. I'm like, there's not enough room to get in the back. She can't sit in the middle because it's too cramped. He's like, yeah, you're gonna sit down. She's gonna sit in your lap, and we're gonna go. I'm like, excuse the fuck out of me.
Okay, so Blake, Brian is the guy I do Snowman in the Morning with.
Yep.
He's literally the
guy.
Brian Snowman in the Morning.
The guy.
Yeah. So I'm like, fine. So we get in the car, we drive on, we get on the expressway, we start just popping trivia and stuff. And then all of a sudden he said, oh, wait, isn't game 4 to ALCS on? And like, yeah, it should be on AM 1000. So of course, Derek puts it on, we start listening. Paul Konerko steps up, and I think it was a 1-1 pitch. He drives it out of the park. We all scream. She gets shocked and screams, jumps in the air, and falls right on my lap. Mind you, she's on my lap. So I'm in pain now for the rest of the trip. I
feel sorry for your kids, man.
Yeah.
Whatever kids he was going to have.
Exactly.
It was painful, but also had an okay experience at the end.
Yeah.
That story always gets me giggling. Because it's the way Brian describes it versus how you describe it.
Yeah, because he's more the storyteller than me. I'm more of like a nuts and bolts type of cat. So
same here.
He knows how to really get a story going.
But there was another story. We could talk about this maybe off the air at some point, maybe in like next week when we do this again. But I remember Brian telling me this story, or no, Victor told the story because recently when I was here at the library, I was in Studio B. I was there, and his backdrop, he usually has like a green screen blanket on this. Like,
oh
backdrop.
Yeah.
It fell, and he was like, ah!
It fell on him too.
And then after he's like, we're just gonna use the backdrop my wife set up for me. He sets it to the side, and not even 2 seconds after,
it starts to lean.
It starts to lean
and fall on his head.
And then Victor was like, Brian, watch out. And it was too late.
And he said it with the thing leaning on his head the entire time. I was laughing so hard.
I think I could probably pull up the clip because it was during the morning show. We had just got back from commercial break.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And then I don't remember what the story was about.
So the story was, we were doing a volleyball game at Whitney Young. and we were getting into like I think it was like the second or third match, and we just kept hearing the chair that he was sitting in just kind of creak, but we're not thinking anything about it. And it's like creaks like 3 or 4 different times, and then finally it just goes, and the chair collapses and Snowman's on the ground. He took his mic, he sat there, arms folded in protest, looking underneath the table, and called the rest of the match.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Did he do it with perfect accuracy too?
Yeah, with perfect accuracy. Did not miss a single play.
That's crazy.
I can picture him having his arms crossed the entire time, mean mug on, just like,
yeah.
And here comes the serve.
Because and then the athletic director came flying over the chair, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm fine. I'm just calling the game." So we wait till we got a break, and then he ended up using another chair. But he sat there for the most of that match. Was like, I'm not moving. I'm just gonna sit here and call like nothing happened.
Dude, that was a funny story when I heard it. But me and Blake have a story for you, Victor, of when we went down to Kansas City for that Chiefs Texans game, that playoff game I told you I went to. This is one of the guys I went to it with.
Okay.
It was me, him, and one of our other friends,
Patrick Mahomes,
aka. Okay, so you don't know the context of Patrick Mahomes, but it was
the name got me. Just the name got me.
We were at a Burger King here in town. We were gonna eat before we left. So I got something, he got something. I paid for Drake's stuff. He refused free food, which I didn't understand, but
it's the concept.
It was we were waiting for our food, and I got the photo up, and he picked up one of the crowns that was laying on the the tables at Burger King.
Yeah.
Those crowns, and we got this beauty. And the caption reads, "Our glorious king, Patrick Mahomes."
Oh man,
it's a banger. What else am I supposed to say? It's a certified hood classic.
Right.
Certified hood classic is crazy. Okay, so that was before we left. We're driving down.
This just keeps getting better.
We drive down I-70. We're driving down I-70 eastbound because we're heading to Kansas City, obviously. This is the same day that Kansas City Chiefs Texans game was also the same day of the Sunflower Showdown in basketball at the Fog. So we, turn on the radio, we're listening to it, and also Creighton is upsetting UConn at that time.
It was crazy.
It was a crazy day.
Yeah, it was genuinely a crazy day. And then
I got to tell this part.
Yeah, this is one of the better parts of this story.
We're driving. I think we're about halfway through Lawrence.
We can see. No, we aren't halfway through Lawrence. We can see the skyline for Kansas City because we were on 470 going downhill on that.
No, we weren't on 478. You were still on I-70.
Yeah.
I remember this because we were still in Lawrence because you could see KU from there. We were still in Lawrence, and it's one of the commercial breaks, and for some reason I don't remember that. Like, I don't know.
We don't understand the context, but we just start hearing Mario Kart noises.
But it was like
a dude driving proceeds to have a.
No. Okay. We're gonna go back. So as a bring back sound, they had it was like Jayhawks radio and all that stuff, and it had Mario Kart sound effects. And we hear the blue shell sound, and as a joke, I say, "Drake, look out!" and he screams at the top of his lungs.
Like a PTSD flashback from Nam. This boy just went.
She got it
on video.
Because I was gonna try to take a video of Lawrence as like a bookmark of where we were. And then he screams, and then all of a sudden you hear nee, 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 and this man
clunk thud the accelerator in a little Nissan Versa which doesn't have enough power to begin with. So he just clunk thuds the accelerator. It's basically a 500cc motor, and then we just hear the little sucker kick up, and we just start flying.
Oh my god.
And I think as we were slowing down, we saw a cop parked on the right side, and I was like, Drake, you gotta slam on the brakes. And he was like, why? And then he saw it, he was like,
Cop.
oh,
Yeah. So
we
another
slow
bit
down
from that game. We whenever we got there, they started hooking up getting into their cold gear, which wasn't a very whole lot to begin with. Even though
Oh, okay. So there's a part of this story that I'm not going to allow you to tell.
I know it's a good.
We're not going to tell it on the air because then that's technically admitting to a crime.
Yeah, but
So we're
Oh,
not going
boy.
to tell that on the air.
so whenever we got to the stadium, which a little bit like 30 to 45 minutes after that,
it was like 15 minutes of being in a line, and also Drake cutting off somebody, getting into the proper line. Because remember, they closed one of the gates, and Drake cut this dodge off, trying to
Oh,
get into the
no.
line, trying to get
I
into
was
the
like,
proper
I
line.
don't want to get shot, but
I'm like, buddy, we're in Kansas City, and we're not trying to get shot.
Please
yeah,
don't.
but all right. So whenever we got there, they weren't expecting me to have these, but I packed them because I know how cold it gets up in the nosebleeds at Arrowhead Stadium. We don't call it GEHA Field over here because that's just dumb, but
Right.
that's besides the point. So whenever we got there, I whip out these camo bibs, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't want my legs to freeze to death."
Right.
Yeah,
Which
they call
obvious-
them bibs, but we call them overalls.
See,
where
because
I'm
I'm
from.
Southern, we call them bibs. All right, son.
Don't you? Oh, if only Dr. K was here.
Yo.
Oh, if only Dr. K was here.
Yo, I'm from North Carolina, so I could dig it. I could dig it.
Yeah.
Oh, because isn't Dr. K from like what, Mississippi?
I'm not sure where she's from.
Dr.
That's
K.
down
Dr. K is Brian Snow's wife.
Yeah.
She's
She would
Brian's
probably
wife.
rip me a new one, wouldn't she?
Oh, she would.
Yeah, she would.
Oh, she would hit you with the "Oh, bless your heart."
She
Before
ripped
ripping
the
into you.
both of us because we decided to.
Pick against Indianapolis.
Yep.
Oh, I could pull up that clip on YouTube right now.
But
There's a clip of
so we got
hold
there.
on. Let me tell you about this. There is a clip from after the Colts won, and it was just me looking into the mic and going, Dr. K, I am sorry that I chose. Me and Victor Locke are extremely sorry for picking your against your Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
And because she's a Colts fan.
Yeah.
Brian's a 49ers fan, but has to be a Colts fan because, he's married to a Colts
right.
fan.
Unless
Right.
if he doesn't, he should have signed a prenup with that one. Because that.
Signed a prenup.
I'm just
No, he
joking. I'm
couldn't.
just joking.
But I believe Brian said he showed Dr. K the video and she was just cackling, and
The whole time.
I think he said that Dr. K at some point said, "Oh, I'm glad they apologized. I would have ripped them a new one." And we've heard the stories about how Dr. K is when she gets mad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
we even heard it when we were doing our play-by-play streams. We'd hear it during Colts games.
Yeah, because we do a kind of like a red zone sports machine kind of thing on every Sunday for football. We'll all pick a game and we'll kind of call or give updates on it. And Snowman takes the lead and he does Indianapolis games and 49ers games, whichever one comes first. And you can hear her react before he even calls the play.
Like she'd be like, damn it.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying.
All right. So after we got there and I got my bibs on, this story just proceeds to get better. So whenever we got there, it took me and Drake I swear it almost was like an hour to get through the security line because like two of the metal detectors just broke.
Okay,
Damn.
so we're gonna go back a little bit. It's cold, so of course they broke, but I walk through. I don't set off the initial.
Wrong.
I don't set off the metal detector. I'm wearing a chain. I felt a little offended because I thought it was calling my shit fake.
It's like your chain is too cheap for us to even call it metal.
Like you can
That's
see it right
messed
here.
up.
It didn't set off the
It's
metal.
just chrome.
But this man is wearing a metal buckle belt,
And
I think you were wearing steel toe boots.
Dude, they were the good old farm classics, man. I had to rock them.
You were wearing a metal
Maybe
belt
some Houston
buckle
fan
and
wanted to get
steel
want to
toe
get rowdy. I'm just gonna kick them with the steel toe boots.
and steel toe
Mhm.
boots. So of course this man sets it off.
Like
Right.
I told them I was wearing a belt and steel toe boots, and they're like, nope, you still got to go in this line. I'm like,
He was like,
okay.
"Oh, it's just my belt," and they're like, "You still got to go through this line." And I'm sitting out there waiting,
It took like 40. I swear, it took like 45 minutes. Not even kidding.
and I'm
to get
like,
through this line.
"What is going?" Like, I literally go to a staff member, I'm like, "Hey, what's taking so long?" And she's like, "Oh, one of the metal detectors broke." I'm like,
And then
"How do
the
you
other
say
one-
that so
And then
casually?"
as soon as they get the other one to work, the other one breaks. So it's just one line creeping through this metal detector.
Yeah,
So basically, like, oh, it happens every like Thursday. It'll just break. Like, how the hell does that break?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it
like,
was mainly because of it was really cold. So like my phone stopped working in the middle of that game. Like I tried to take multiple photos, trying
and
to
his
get some
phone
stuff from my
froze
parents.
up.
And my phone battery literally was like, nope, we're not doing this. We are not doing this right now. And froze up.
Yep. And then
So
this it just gets better. This story gets better.
so
So we can't tell this part of the story, but we can tell it off the air because of what he said previously. But after the game, I thought he was still up in the stadium. So we hung around. I think I hung around outside the stadium for like an hour waiting for him, and then he called me, bro. I'm already at the car. I'm like, God dang it.
so I get a little bit of warmth because I'm like surrounded by a crowd of people.
Yeah.
For my phone. And Blake finally gets in contact with me. I contact Drake. I'm like, I'm right at the car, dude. And he's like, oh, bet I see you. And I'm like, okay, cool. I call Blake. I'm like, bro, where are you at? He said, I'm still at the stadium. I'm like, what do you mean you're at the stadium?
waiting for you.
Because to be fair, I did tell them to meet me down in my section. But here's the thing. In order for them to meet me down in my section, they'd have to walk all the way around the building.
Right.
So then I was like, I think sometime around halftime, like I think it was third quarter, I texted them and told them, hey, meet me at the bottom of the concourse, basically all the way to the bottom.
We did, and we ended up getting out on the wrong side of the concourse, so we were on the entire other. So you know how they have the two spiral walkways at Arrowhead?
Yeah.
So there was one on one side, which is the one we went up originally.
There's 4 total, but here's the thing: not all of them connect.
Yeah, so we didn't think about it. We just went to the closest one, and we ended up on the entire other corner by where they have like the chaplain place, and they have like the
You
church.
couldn't
kind
have
of
done
thing.
that, but what you did was you went down through the exit of your section.
Yeah,
You found out, hey, we can't get to that side, so you would have to walk all the way around.
yeah. We walked. No, me and Drake both exited, so we just walked the exterior of the stadium over to where we originally went in at.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, and at that time,
There's still a lot of fogginess about this.
at that
story.
time, I was like in the middle of this crowd because I was like, eventually some of them will find me. When did Drake split off of you?
I told him to go because I didn't know where you were at, so we were trying to cover area, and I was still waiting for you outside the stadium. But obviously, that never happened, and I had to trudge my fat ass back to the car,
Dude. I was like, oh, here
by
comes.
myself.
I was like, oh, here comes the Big Mac.
Okay. And this story just keeps getting better. I swear, he could tell this one.
Okay, so after that, we hit a gas station. And what did you say? You said I needed it. You said something diabolical, like I need a thunder cunt a turd. I was like, what the fuck is that? Because we stopped at a gas station so we could all like use the restroom.
Right.
And
No, I know it's because I said I had to drain the garden snake.
yeah, you said that, and that was enough for Drake because we're already in traffic, but we were like, okay, we're gonna pull off into this gas station. And
It's a devious looking gas station.
it's
by
not
the
really
way.
devious, but we got some snacks. I got
It had
these
Galaxy gas in it. That's devious enough.
Galaxy gas.
I got these white chocolate covered pretzels, those classic.
I was rocking the monster. I was rocking the ADHD special. I was rocking monsters and Swedish fish with the red 40.
And then
Nice.
so after, of course, we encountered some Chiefs fans. There was this guy who was like, "Let's go Chiefs." I was like,
He was
"Yeah."
sloshed as fuck, or he was.
no, I could tell he was autistic. I could definitely tell.
Okay.
But I respect it. He's still very passionate. So I'm like, hell yeah, dude. And then Drake was like, get in the car, dumbass. So I
So
got in
we
the
were-
car.
Oh my
We finally
God.
get back. Somebody finally lets us in after all that traffic. And the GPS is telling us to turn right on a street that is closed off.
What?
Yeah.
And then once we pass that street, it's like rerouting, and it's having us, and it had us now going through some neighborhood routes. I was like,
Uh-oh.
okay. He took a wrong turn. He took a right turn and left. I'm like, what do you have to do this, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I
this
made
just
that
gets
joke.
better, man.
I made that joke where it's like, what, do you have to put your hands up to see if you're going left or right? And then we hit a left. We come around this curve.
There's
And
a pothole.
no. So it's pretty dark out. And his Versa has the worst fucking lights I have ever seen. Like, we could barely even see 3 meters ahead of us. So this man decides to fucking stomp on the gas. And I see this pile of snow in a pothole in
Oh,
the
no.
same vicinity. And I scream, Drake! And he does his scream again. He hits it. We fly, basically are airborne.
Basically, Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh my
We are
God.
not getting over this mound of ice.
we
It was
are
so bad. He
airborne.
bent the rim on his car
He not only bent the rim,
Holy-
but fucked his alignment up.
and bent the rim.
And we slam, and this man starts doing a Joker laugh, where it's like,
Oh. Oh my God.
I'm like, what's this Joker ass? I couldn't breathe, dude, because
We
I was
started
laughing.
crying for like 15 minutes.
I couldn't stop laughing because this man couldn't stop with his Joker ass laugh. I
so
was going to,
funny.
and the thing is, I was going to get out the car and check and see if we were fine, and yet Drake has to be the one because we're fucking laughing our asses off.
Right.
So we finally get moving, and this man still hasn't stopped laughing.
It was so funny. How can you not laugh at that? It's that funny.
like I
Like
get,
he
I
didn't
get.
even know that. Like he's like, you told me to dodge the pile. I didn't even see the snow. I was
No,
like,
we were
I
like,
can see the snow from the back seat.
it's like I didn't even know it was there. I was like, dude, I screamed Drake.
The fact that I think he was going like 40 miles an hour too.
There was the fact that he stomped on the fucking gas, like
Like
he
if he was
thundercunted
on-
the gas.
Like if he was trying to freaking speed run Rainbow Road. Good callback, by the way.
Yeah, the one jump, because on the original Rainbow Road, I think there was like multiple jumps, like little jumps from
Yeah.
the thwomps. Like,
Go ahead.
Like, imagine those waves that the thwomps create, but it just suddenly stops and it's like very like you basically hitting a wall
Mhm.
on your tires.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't tuck the front bumper on his car under there. I'm gonna
And
be
the thing
honest.
is, we looked at the front bumper; it was fine.
It made no sense. It looked like we just went, and then landed first contact was on that right wheel, and it just bent
Yeah,
the rim.
and it bent
See,
the rim.
You being airborne would have messed me up already. Like we should not be airborne.
The thing is, when we were airborne, all I could think of is, I don't think we should be up here.
I was in the back on my phone. I was eating the Swedish fish and cheese that I got. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I'll tell this story since my brother's not here, so he can't get mad about it.
Fair enough.
Brian, I will tell him.
This one I was you don't know
Because
my
this is
brother.
going. Oh, your brother? Okay, this is on
Yeah.
Grilled Sports, but this is gonna be on Grilled Sports.
Yeah, this is you don't know my brother.
Brian does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
I can send it to Brian then.
But he called me out. This is when I was still living in Gary. Brian had left for a trip already, so I was basically home alone. I get a call from my brother. And he's like, "Hey, can you come get me from work? I'm like really like stressed out and I'm like paranoid." I'm like, "Dude, what's the matter?" He's like, "I don't know. Like, I'm just not feeling right. Can you just please come get me? Like, something really, really is bothering me." So I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll come get you." So I go. I have to get up, go from my house in Gary Anna to go to his job in Hotchkins, Illinois, was a long ass drive. I pick him up. I said, "Do you need what's wrong?" Because I'm thinking like something happened. Like he actually got his girl pregnant or something. And he's freaking out. And I'm like, something like is because he's really a chill person. He's always been a really chill person. So for him to be so like wound up like this, I'm like, dude, something must have happened. Did he like lose a bunch of money? Did he actually get his girl pregnant? So I took him. We drove around for a little bit, went to the mall and everything. He won't tell me what's going on. He just said he got into an argument with my dad. And I'm like, okay, like you live with the man because I already moved out. Like you should be fine. Because my dad's not a crazy person to get along with. He's like, no, he was like really upset with me. And he wouldn't tell me why, right? So anyway, I dropped him off at my mom's house and I had to work. And my dad calls me the next day. He said, did you take your brother to your mom's? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, so he didn't want to come home. I'm like, what's going on? Because he didn't tell me anything. He said, okay, your brother, I decided to try and let him drive. Because he was learning how to drive. No. So he's like, okay, so you let him drive what from the house to his job? Because from where my dad lived to his job was not that far. I could do it in my sleep. It was pretty clear drive. He's like, yeah. So we drove, and we get to this one spot where he has to turn left. Unfortunately, he's all the way in the far right lane. So he's like, you got to turn left. You got to turn left. Now, my dad's thinking he's going to turn left and go get in the left lane and then turn. No, he makes the left turn from the far right lane and turns 3 of them around.
Oh, no.
And a truck is on the way.
Jesus.
So my dad screams his name. My brother is able to swerve out of the way of the car, and they stop for like a good 2 minutes. And my dad just lets off a curse-filled tirade.
I wonder why Dad's mad at you.
I started laughing my ass off the whole 30 minutes.
The only question I could have for that is, why the fuck do you think he's mad at you?
Right.
Did he get the car damaged?
No.
He get on crazy car drives.
It was a near miss. He never got hit or anything, but it was like, because with the truck coming away, my dad was basically on the passenger side, so he would have taken the beating.
Yeah.
I'm like, no wonder.
Talking about crazy stories this morning from the Midwest, I was driving to school because I got to Washburn Tech up here in Topeka. Mm-hmm. So this morning I was on 99 going south. You have no idea what I'm talking about. I could pull up maps.
Highway 99?
Yeah, Highway 99 going south.
Highway 99 is not too far
from 70.
Topeka.
And it's off the 70 corridor, and it takes you up through Wamego all the way up north. So it takes you all the way up to the Nebraska border. So it's a very long highway. So I live north of Wamego a little bit. I was driving, taking my doot way to school. There is a
doot way to school.
Shut up.
My doot way to school.
Shut up. All right. Dude, if you make that a sample tag, I'm gonna lose my shit. But
I'm
all right.
it.
All right. So the thing about this was that I'm driving to school, minding my own business. There is a truck stop gas station that got propped up like maybe 3 years ago at off the exit that I get off of usually whenever I take 70 home. So I was driving my way back home or up to school this morning, and I swear to God, this semi truck did not give a shit. I was just driving, and I was already. So how he was turning, he already turned because he was turning to get onto the highway going westbound, around 70 going westbound. So I was turning, I was just going straight up 99. He didn't even recognize that I was there, and I swear to God, he almost hit, it was so close. I swear he might have actually scratched the paint on my car. I'm not even kidding.
Just a little kiss on the car.
Yeah, I was just like, "What the heck is happening? I'm here." He didn't even recognize that there was people coming this way. And
he probably was like, because truck drivers they spend a lot of time on the road, so he probably was starting to like black out. He's probably
but he was coming out of the truck stop, so I don't know what would acquire him to do that, but it was just straight crazy work, and I swear, I think I might actually have scratched a little bit of a paint swap from this semi truck. I was just like, "What is going on?"
Right.
Oh, okay. So I remember. So back to that trip to the Chiefs game, I remember like we stopped at one of the rest stops, the only rest stop on I-70
Going
to the
back
Loves.
east. Yeah,
to
the
the
Loves
Loves.
with the
Okay.
McDonald's in the front. With the
Yeah,
with
the McDonald's
and
and the McDonald's had like a KU area
the America Hawk.
where it showed you like
Or-
all like a bunch of it's like a whole mural of like all the like KU's best
Mario
moments,
Chalmers. They have Devontae Graham, Frank Mason stuff on there.
including like national championships and
Yeah.
all that.
Stuff like that. It's just a big. There's just a wall.
And
it
on
just
the
was a big-ass
TV
mural.
is Lions Commanders.
This
that
was
playoff
crazy
game.
work.
We were watching that, and I was like, holy shit, they're gonna fucking do it. And he's like, no, they're not. And I was like, they're gonna fucking do it. And then we're driving. I think we're about 50 miles out of Topeka.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm like, Blake, look at the score. He's like, why? And I said, look at the score. And he looks at the score. Shout out Real, and he's like, oh my god, because it was that pass to Scary Terry.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin.
It was that pass to Terry, and they caught it. He caught it, touchdown. Commanders take the lead over the Lions, and then they dominated the lead the rest of the game. And I remember texting him after he was like, while he was on the road, probably on 90, heading to Amigo. I was like, Commanders just beat the Lions. He's like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Drake took me home after all that, and that was a great trip. But then recently, another sports trip, Thunder Mavericks, a trip to forget. And
especially for you, man.
So I left what I thought was a pretty early time. I think because it's a 2-hour drive. I think we left around.
I've never, just for future context for this, I've never made the drive to Wichita from Topeka. And I just wanted to be safe. So I was taking it easy on my car going down 35. I was going like 5 over the speed limit, just relaxing.
Well, it was 335 until you hit Emporia, and then it turns to I-35
Yeah.
after Emporia. But
the turnpike.
Yeah, the turnpike. It's just the turnpike overall. But we are about, so it's about, we leave around sometime around 2:30.
I left around like
1.
Yeah.
So we do this drive. There's a bunch of assholes, you know, classic highway driving, classic interstate travel, assholes cutting in front of you, assholes speeding up when you're trying to pass them. And it's taking a toll on the car because we think our alignment and the rear is off because it shakes when we're going 80.
Right.
And the speed limit's 75. You know, we're trying to go like maybe 5, 6 over. And it's vibrating, and we think that's a good toll on our gas mileage. But we don't want it to vibrate, so we're trying our best to not speed. But then you got these assholes, and they speed match you while you're trying to pass them. Right. And it's just annoying. And then what we did after that was we got to Wichita. I realized I picked the wrong Brahms, but it was still the right Brahms I sent to him. And I park and I text Blake because I'm thinking he's on the road. You know, I didn't think he left early. And I was like, we're here. And then him and we took one of our coworkers' father to the game as well. He strolls up to the window. I'm like, oh fuck, oh shit. And I like tap my dad and I'm like, dude. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, we were at, I think, the world's biggest Kansas sampler. For context, Kansas sampler is like general Kansas sporting gear for like the surrounding area. So you got Wichita Shocker gear at this store. You got Wind Surge, which is minor league baseball. You got Thunder, a very small selection of Thunder gear, which I thought was weird. You got Royals, Chiefs, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
So I spent like 45 minutes just strolling through this thing. Decided to not buy anything because everything was expensive as crap. Which, I mean, that's just usually for almost anything sporting wise. But I mean, we got there around like we got there at least an hour before y'all at least.
Yeah, and you stood and you were in that Brahms for like what, 15 minutes before we got there, and then we ate at Brahms. Kat's dad said it actually was bad, like really bad.
The Brahms?
Yeah, the Brahms, because you got junior cheeseburgers. I'm like, you should have got him like good burgers, like the actual good ones, and you got him the junior cheeseburger.
Yeah, I was trying to be cheap.
Yeah, and you didn't even finish all 5. But I just got some news.
Okay.
NFL rule changes. Overtime will be shortened to 10 minutes and each team is guaranteed a possession. Replay will now expand to objective calls, including face masks, targeting, and horse collar calls. Dynamic kickoff is permanent and touchbacks go to the 35.
35?
That's crazy work.
The 35. This is via Shane Lake.
Is at the 40? That's ridiculous. It's almost at the 40. You're basically just getting close to midfield for a
Exactly.
touchback. That makes no sense whatsoever. So basically, was it like what 75 yards? 65 yards to get
Yeah,
to
they have to drive at least. If you put it through the back of the end zone, they have to drive at least 65
I'd
yards,
be
which is
pissed.
crazy work.
I'd
That
be
is
so
disgusting.
pissed.
65
Plus no tuck.
versus-
No, not tuck rule. What am I talking about? Here? Plus no tush push ban, which is crazy work.
It's been
Right.
pushed back to May. The vote on it has been pushed back to May, but they are voting on
Gay.
it. Can't say that. I'm gonna have to cut that out, asshole.
Sorry.
That was funny.
This is a family show.
Are you sure about that?
Since when?
Yeah, the amount of times I said fuck, shit, and ass this whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't say that word once.
Oh, it reminds me of I think it was the Reds announcers where they had to hold in a laugh because something was done in the stands. Oh yeah, because it was this dude grabbing his girlfriend's tit live on air while the camera was on him.
MLB.
Yeah,
on-
while on it, one of the MLB networks, and the two announcers had to try so hard, and one of the like play-by-play announcer says, "This is a family show."
Good grief.
We love the MLB, we love the NHL, we love all of the leagues that exist in general.
General wrap up. Royals first pitch. I think I got
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock first pitch. You got
6:40. Oh,
6:40 start time. We got
while
Michael
I'm
Lorenzen
at
on the bump.
work, bro.
Yep, we got Lorenzen on the bump. I'll try to keep you informed, but
No, don't text me while I'm at work. You know, Joe would kill me, right?
bro, what's wrong with a Vinny 3-run shot? Remember, were you at
Oh
work
yeah,
for that?
okay. So while I was at work for the season opener, I got a notification. It said because his name on Snap is Beham. So I see Beham is sending you a chat. I was like, usually the only reason he'd be sending me a chat while I'm at work and he knows I'm at work is if there's a something that happened in the Royals game. And sure enough, Pasquatch just thundercuts a 3-run shot to left.
And I'm just like, yo.
And what is that? Why you were texting me? Why were you texting me?
I was gonna say that, and then I also said after that, like not even 5 minutes after. I think it was like 2 minutes after that shot, my power cut out at my house. I'm just like, God damn it.
Oh yeah, that was. Here's your sign.
Yeah. It was beautiful as a
Oh my goodness! You know what? To end off the show today, we're gonna do a little bit of Jeff Foxworthy. Here's your sign for sports.
That's Bill Engvall.
Or Bill Engvall. It's the quad. All right, you got
Yeah.
Bill Engvall, Ron White, Jeff Foxworthy,
Really?
and
Larry
Joe
the Cable
Rogan.
Guy.
the cable guy. Come on, that's why I got them mixed up. Don't blame me. All right.
and Shane Gillis. Theo Vaughn.
What was it? We had our own Jeff Foxworthy bit where you know how he's like, you might be a redneck.
Yeah.
Our bit was so it was like, if you think LeBron is the greatest player of all time, you just might be fighting the flu. But this time we're gonna do here's your sign. I'm gonna start us off. If you think Myles Garrett returning to the Browns was a good idea, here's your sign. No, that's more for Jeff Foxworthy. But it's like, you know, Myles Garrett, I'm sure he walked into the Browns room and said, I want a contract extension. Browns are like, no, we're not going to give you that.
Actually,
He goes trade searching, you know, he can't find anything. He's like, you know what? You're going to have to pay me. He said, why? because I totally make a lot of money. Here's your sign.
Right.
Exactly.
But I think I'd rather do the you might be fighting the flu because that's so hard to set up.
Yeah.
So
Miles Garrett talking about how he wanted to go play at a championship contending team.
And all the
He might
funniest
have the flu.
thing
I
is
don't
him.
know. I don't know how that goes.
no, okay, so it's you take a stupid argument and you put it in the perspective of like you think this, you might be fighting the flu.
Mm,
If you think the New York Giants are playoff contenders for this year, you might be fighting the flu.
oh my god.
If
Victor,
you
I know
think-
you have one in the back pocket.
If you
I have
don't,
a
I
few.
gotta go. I'm gonna. Can I say my?
Yeah,
good
you
one?
got you.
All right. If you think that Scotty Barnes isn't special, you might be fighting the flu.
If you think the Carolina Panthers are going to win anything besides the #1 seed of next year's draft, you might be fighting the flu.
If you think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are anything without Baker Mayfield, you might be fighting the flu.
If you think that the Florida Panthers are going to win another Stanley Cup, you might be fighting the flu.
If you
Ooh.
think that the Mavs won't lose in the finals for the second year in a row, you might be fighting the flu.
If you think it is going to hurt, if you think the Dallas Cowboys will do anything this year besides possibly get a wild card, and even that's a stretch, you might be fighting the
You
flu.
might be fighting the flu. Oh yeah, by the way, he came up with the greatest name for the delusional Cowboys fan base. we call him on the show, and thanks to Victor for making this, the Moronic Republic of Cowboys Nation.
The Moronic
Yes.
Republic.
Yes.
Oh, moronic. Okay, never mind. I get
The
it.
Moronic
I get it, I
Republic
get
of
it.
Cowboys Nations. We got the Midwest Committee of Bear Idiocy.
Yep.
And what was the New England one?
I think it's like New England Knuckleheads or I think it's New England Numbskull Committee or something like that. You gotta talk to Shane. 'Cause I think he's the one that came up with it.
Hold on. I could call him right now, technically.
And then I got another one. If you think that the White Sox are going to win more than 20 games this season, you might be
Ooh.
fighting the flu.
Ooh.
I'm
That's-
taking that. I'll take that bet. They're not winning more than 20 games. I'd put money on that.
If you think that the Cubs are going to win the NL Central, you might be fighting.
That's
the
a
flu.
hot take. The NL Central's kind of dog water, if we're going to be honest. It's really bad.
Shaner. We're live on the air for Grilled Sports. Can you remind us, what do you call New England's idiot fans?
God help me. What is it that I use? Something about the New England Knuckleheads?
Father O'Shaughnessy got it for you.
Oh, you want to talk a little bit about Father O'Shaughnessy? Well, trust me. Father O'Shaughnessy is beyond enraged about a lot of stuff that is currently going on in the world of New England sports, but Father O'Shaughnessy also needs some downtime after a crazy week.
That is true. You've had a crazy week, but but before we cut you off, what does Father O'Shaughnessy think of Stephon Diggs going to the Patriots?
Well, he might be a great wide receiver, but he's a complete jackass when it comes to leading a locker room. So I don't expect a lot out of New England on the wide receiving core.
Thank you so much, Shannon. We'll let you go.
All right.
Later. That's Shane Lake, courtesy Snowman in the morning. We're gonna get out of here. Love
All
you
right.
all.
Catch you later.
As Brian says, remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. So long, everybody.
Take
Later
care,
now.
guys.